Fred here, welcome back to the Gear Obsession channel. In this episode we will be taking a look at the Innokin, or Innokin, whichever way you pronounce it, itaste SVD. So stay tuned. So right now I'm looking at two. I actually got one new in box. This one is labeled Innokin, or actually it's let me see, labeled itaste SVD, and I haven't used this one yet. And I have another one here in pieces, and this one is labeled Ilego SVD. So, you know, one's made by Innokin, or Innokin, I don't know. I like calling it Innokin, but whatever. But I have two. And the reason why is because I'm an impatient person. I went ahead and went to Fast Tech. I'll go ahead and put the screen up right now. And you can see that it's just for the unit itself only costs $36.97. And then you could also buy a whole kit for a little over $60. And that was my first order ever from Fast Tech, and that took about 2 months, almost 2 months to get it, because it got hung up in a whole fiasco in the Hong Kong post office, because they started, you know, stopping orders that had batteries in them or liquids in them, and you know, they started enforcing rules, and it took forever. Anyway, I got impatient, so then I went to this other website, and I'll go ahead and put that up right now, and it is 101 Vape, and it's one of my favorite go-to inexpensive places here in the continental US that when I don't feel like when I'm impatient, and I'll go to this website and see if they have what I'm looking for. They don't have a great variety, but for the things they do have, outstanding prices, probably the best you can get. And you can see here that they have the Ilego itaste SVD for $42.99 without the big long wait. But right now they're out of stock, so again, you gotta catch them when they got them, and they don't have a very big variety, but they're the first place I always look when I'm looking to get something quick before I go anywhere else. So anyway, that's sort of why I have two. Now here's the box that you would, whoops, that I got from Fast Tech, and you can see again, I didn't order the whole kit, I just ordered the mod itself, and there it is, assembled. So let's go ahead and take a close look at all the parts, and let's go over the specs real quick. So you can break this mod down into 4 parts, as you can see right here. You have the bottom cap, you have a tube. If you buy the kit, you get 2 different size tubes. Then you got the main unit, and you get like a beauty ring. So I'm going to just go ahead and put this together. You can see nice springy thing right there for the battery, and that would go right on there. And then of course here, obviously it's a telescoping mod. Battery wise, you could put 18350, 18500, 18650 in here, or stacked 18350s. Ego style threads, and you got your 510 up there. You can see the little cutouts for airflow. The ring here, I think they call them beauty rings. You see these little nipples in here, nibs or nubs or whatever, little holes cut out there. 2 of these, one here and one on the opposite side, actually has a hole drilled all the way through to allow airflow. You can see one right there, and again, you could just put that there. So let's go ahead and put a battery in here. Sometimes I wonder why they put the cap there, because you could just sort of pop this off. And let me find a battery that's charged. This is a cheap, crappy battery, but oh well. Just put that in there, or you could just do it like normal people do and put the cap, but whatever. Just put it in there until it is tight, and you can see it immediately told me power there. Now this is a variable voltage, variable power, or variable watts type of mod. So let's go ahead and turn this on. The way that you turn it on is you have a power switch right here, and you just hit it 3 times, 1, 2, 3, and it wakes up. Now this thing has variable colors in it. It has green, yellow, red. When you're hitting the button for smoking or vaping, it's green when you press it. When it starts to run down low on battery, it turns yellow and then eventually red before it completely dies. So it gives you lots of heads up that your battery's getting ready to be depleted. Real easy to understand. Now you have that button. You also have these 2 buttons right here. One's a plus, one's a minus, but it also does other things. So anyway, when I hit this, you can see it's locked right now. The way that you lock and unlock the functionality in this thing is you press and hold this for 5 seconds, and it unlocks. So you could go ahead and, of course, now it's on camera, and it's making me a liar. All right, so now it should be unlocked. There we go. All right, so you can see it's doing the amount of watts. Now you can adjust anywhere from 3 watts up to 15 watts when you're in power mode. Now you could also adjust in voltage. The way that you changed it from power to voltage is you press either this where it says VM, so you would hold this and this together, and it will go into voltage mode. So now I could go up and down in voltage. Now for voltage mode, you could go anywhere from 3.3 volts to 6 volts. And if you keep on going past 6 volts, it'll just round robin back down to the bottom, as you can see right there. So rather simplistic. I like keeping it in the power mode. So you go to this part that says PM. That doesn't mean night, but you hold these 2 and it turns to PM. Power mode, PO, or POO, or PO, or whatever. It's funny. Alright, now the one bad thing is that it never displays what is set until you hit a button, and as soon as you hit a button, it knocks it up. So you see how it says 6.5 for power? Now let's say I want to see what it says. It doesn't activate when you, whoops, I just turned it off because I hit it 3 times. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to turn it on. Now, if I hit this again, it's going to, turn on the display, but it's also going to bring it up to the next increment. So it goes in 0.5 increments. So you see what I'm saying? You can't, it would be nice if you hit the button and it told you what it's currently set at, and then you hit it again to go ahead and put it up, not immediately put it up a notch or down a notch. So I think that's something that they should have fixed or designed into this thing. So anyway, if you bought the kit, you would have got a couple of these very nice Clearomizers right there. This is the itaste 30. I believe the kit gives you 2 of these plus some extra atomizers. I really love this, and we'll go ahead and fill this up and take a puff out of this. But really, really good. I've been using this for a couple of months now, and I've been using this for a couple of weeks, and this is now my favorite tank. It's a dual coil design, and it has lots of wicks, so that has never gave me a dry hit. It is incredible. And what's really nice about it is right there, you can angle it. I love that. Makes it easier. You don't have this thing sticking out when you're puffing on it. So really nice Clearomizer. Really love it. It's my favorite. Now they just came out with the i30s. Here's the i30s. I just ordered this, and the big difference right here, as you could tell, is they got rid of these ugly looking knurling on there to something a little more subdued, which I do like better. I think this just looks nicer. And they put all the wicks inside something that looks like a cartomizer in there with a whole bunch of holes, but all the wicks are there. So they just made it prettier. But I haven't tried this yet. But I just had to get them. Now, by the way, when you order replacement atomizers, they're obviously not interchangeable. And I think the ones for the new i30s cost more. Alright, so I need to figure out what I'm going to fill this up with. I think for demonstration purposes today, I am going to go with some Red Oak Line Johnson Creek Domestic. I love Johnson Creek. Again, I say this every single time. If you haven't tried Johnson Creek, you really, really got to. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get my green little pad off of here, off my table, and get this filled up. Now I did sort of skip a couple things I wanted to tell you, so hopefully I could talk and fill this up at the same time. By the way, you should always shake your juice before you put it in there, and if you got some still in the dropper, you should spit it out and suck more up. Just get it mixed up really good. So anyway, this guy has short protection, reverse battery protection. It has resistive load detection, which once I put the atomizer on here, I'll let you see how it can read the amount of ohms that your device has when you put it on there, because I didn't show you that. Basically, you saw how when I hit both buttons, it can lock it or unlock it if you hold that for 5 seconds. Well, if you hold those two up and down buttons for 3 seconds, it'll tell you what your atomizer ohm rating or resistance is. Now this tank here that I'm filling up, this iClear 30, can hold up to, man, I'll tell you, when you get old, you just cannot see worth a damn. Looks like it can hold 3 milliliters in this guy, and we don't want to put too much. We don't want to flood anything, so we'll be careful. Put that in there. Close that up. And let me see, did I go over any or miss any other specs here? I love the taste of this. Battery safety protection, and I think we got all the good stuff covered. The other things I just like to put out there are there's some really good reviewers out there. The 2 best reviews I think for this product, because you don't want to come to me for vaping reviews because I'm very new to this. I love that stuff. Is Pete Bissardo. You know, if you're in the vaping community, you know exactly who I'm talking about. He has a good review on this. Also, Grim Green has an excellent review of this thing, and you should be going there if you really want a really good review on these products. So anyway, we'll go ahead and, you know what, I did want to point out one other thing. The 510 post in there, it's springy. Like, I went ahead and pressed it in a little, you know, and it moves in and out. So the 510 post all the way in there is spring loaded, so it goes down or up. It adjusts automatically for whatever you put on there, which I like. I look for that specifically in my mods now, because I don't want something that you have to adjust, or it doesn't adjust, so things don't fit right. It always fits right no matter what I put on it, which I like. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and put the iClear 30 dual coil Clearomizer on here that I love, and let's say we want to know how many ohms everything is. So what you do is those 2 buttons that you used to lock it, like if I hold this plus and minus button down for 5 seconds, it will lock the unit, and I'll go ahead and do that here. You can see it says locked, or actually it says 2 ohms is what. So if you hold it for 3 seconds, you get the atomizer resistance. If you hold it for 5 seconds, there you go, it locks it. So now, see, I can't go up or down. So unlock it, I have to hold both of them down for 5 seconds, and it will unlock. There we go. So now I can go up and down in power, because I have it in power mode. What do I have that now? 7. I'm going to go ahead and start at about 6.5. I don't go for crazy numbers. I just, you know, just an average vapor. I'm not one of those super try to make a cloud in your room kind of thing. I just want, you know, good flavor, and I don't even necessarily need the hit. I don't vape anything with nicotine in it, so I'm not going to get much of a hit of anything anyway. So anyway, this thing, it doesn't look like a lightsaber. It's just, when you put an 18650 in this thing, you got yourself a bat, I don't know, a weapon, for you Star Wars folks, a lightsaber. Anyway, alright, let's vape it. Okay, not much yet because it's still soaking in. Plus I had washed this with water, so I got to get the water out of it. But I want you to hear something. I'm going to hold this up to the mic. You hear that? It sounds like a rattlesnake. That's because it has a, from what I think it was Pete Rizzardo had said, it has a chip in there that is 33 megahertz. So it's a you know, the way that this thing varies voltage is that it takes the power and, you know, makes it larger or smaller by doing waves in the electricity. And I don't want to get technical. You know, if you want to get technical, go to Pete Rizzardo's videos. But you could see square waves. So if you put this thing on an oscilloscope, and it will vary those waves to increase the voltage, or, you know, or decrease the voltage. It does that, you know, via electronic circuitry, and it's doing it at 33 megahertz, 33 times a second, or millisecond or something, I don't know. So you get that rattlesnake noise. Now let me see if I could get the water out of the atomizer. And start getting it to vape properly. It's starting, and it takes a minute. And when I say I got water in here, because what happens is after each time I use this, I clean these things out, and then the atomizer, I want to pull water in and out of it. So I made this thing out of a Cajun injection thing, but I put a tube on it that I could screw a 510 threaded thing. So what I do is I screw this down into the plastic tube, and I will pull water in and out. And that's how I clean my carts and my atomizers and everything. I just pull water, clean water through, back and forth, and then I let them sit out for a day or two to dry. So there's still a little water in there. That's why it's not up to performance yet. Getting there. Getting there. Getting there. So you can see, and if I let's pump this up to I'm going to go ahead and bring it up to 8 watts. Okay, so you can see I got a cloud in here, but I don't need the cloud. I usually, I'm going to bring this down to 7. And, you know, if you're around a lot of people, too, they might get kind of pissed off if you're blowing out these huge things, the clouds, even though it's not going to affect them in any way that we know of right now. So, anyway, let me see if I covered everything I really wanted to cover. I gave you the prices. I love this thing. This is my favorite, absolute favorite variable. I don't have much to compare, but I've done a lot of reading. I do have the EVIC. The EVIC works great, and I haven't done a review of it yet. But, you know, to me, this is substantial. It's heavy. I like things that are solid and heavy. Everything about this is just feels of quality. If I had to nitpick something bad about it, the tail cap is sort of shiny, whereas everything else is brushed. I would have liked it if the cap was also like a brushed look to it. The telescoping tube that you screw up and down, which by the way is nice and smooth. This edge right here is sharp. They could have smoothed that out a little bit. I know everybody who reviews this thing says that. But it's true. But everything else, the buttons are very clicky and tactile. They feel rock solid. This thing is just, there's not much you could do to improve this. I would add that the screen only looks normal to you if you're holding it with your left hand like this. It would have been nice if there was some way to flip the numbers so right-handed people, if they vape like that, they could look at it like this and it's right side up. But that's a minor thing, but it would be nice if in the next version they made it so you could click some magic buttons to flip the display one way or the other for left or right hands. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I'll tell you what else they could do to improve this. And I think the next mechanical that I have coming in the mail actually has this feature, and that's some sort of airflow control, so you can control how much air. For instance, I don't think I have one out, but the Kanger tanks, those Pro tanks, which I do like, are very airy. They let a lot of air in, and I don't like that. I like a medium. When you suck on it, the air is not very constricted, but I don't want it wide open where it's just like. I like a medium aeration. So I would like for the mod to be able to control how much air is going in there would be nice. So if there was some sort of air control feature, it would be cool. But you can't complain too much when you got a mod with all this capability and this weight for the unbelievable low price of, I think, what did I say, $37 from Fast Tech. That is just insane. Now, as far as the two names, because I pointed out that this one is an Innokin or Innokin guy, and this one is the Elego. I'm pretty sure that these come from the exact same place. I mean, and from what I read on the interweb, they do come from the same place, and there's a whole bunch of legalese on what's going on with why there's two names like this that I'm not going to talk about on my channel. But if you really care, you could go online, look on the forums, and enjoy all the fun. Okay, well, this is someone asked for me to review this, and man, it's going on forever. I can't even see how much time. This is insane. This is way too long of a video, so I need to end it. Okay, well, highly recommended, 9 out of 10. Thank you very much for joining me here at the Gear Obsession channel. I really appreciate every friend, viewer, subscriber, and you, and I hope you have a great weekend. Take care. Bye.